What is happening, beautiful people of the Wellness Lab? Hope you're having an awesome day today. As we wind down 2021, hard to believe, right? This year is almost over. And so that's why we're all gathered here today. We're going to talk about some solutions for your new year. I'll give everybody just maybe out of the 15, 20 seconds to jump on. I know a lot of people will watch this on replay. If you're watching on replay, welcome, and I appreciate you taking the time. The whole mission of this little chat we're going to have today, guys, is to give you some resources. I'm going to give you 5 strategies, 5 tools that you can use to make this year different than every other year, right? Because the only way things change is if things change. And so you have to remember that. We can't keep doing the same things we've always done and then miraculously think there's going to be a brand new outcome that we've never seen before. It's just not going to happen. So we've got to get real, right? And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a realization instead of a resolution. Because here's the deal. We know that New Year's resolutions don't work. There was a study that came out in the journals of psychology. This was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And so the number's probably even higher now. But it stated that 96% of all New Year's resolutions fail. So if you think about that, there's very few things in your life, if any, that you would participate in if you knew it had a 96% failure rate, right? Like it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to have and participate in something that you know is not going to work for you, that you know doesn't work for anybody else. So you have to make some changes and you have to make some adjustments and have realizations that the things I've tried in the past aren't the things that are going to get me where it is that I want to go. And so today we're not going to focus on New Year's resolutions because we're not going to participate in failing formulas. We're going to focus on solutions to getting you to where it is that you want to go. And the truth of the matter is, guys, that you have got to, hold on one sec for me. The truth of the matter is, guys, you have got to get clarity around the things that have you stuck. And those are your old patterns and your old excuses. And so what we're going to do today is with these 5 solutions that are going to be different than anything you've ever tried. See, most of the time when you have a New Year's resolution, all you simply do is say, well, this is what I'm going to do. And then you start taking action on that specific or particular thing that you've decided that you want to change. You do very little other planning or have very little other strategies around that. You just simply say for something as simple as this, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Okay, well, that is a great goal, right? That is a great outcome. If you were able to achieve that, you'd be extremely happy. But you don't apply any other metrics to that goal, and except for the normal actions that you've already taken often in your life, meaning you've joined a gym, you've gone to the gym, you've started eating salads instead of hamburgers, you stopped eating candy bars, you're going to give up Cokes, you're going to stop drinking beer. Like you've tried all of those things in the past and they might work momentarily, but they won't work long term. They won't work usually even into February, March, April, June. You know what I mean? They're not even going to get you halfway through the year. They probably won't even get you a couple of weeks. And so being in the gym industry, I've been around fitness centers and gyms and workout people virtually my entire adult life. And we know that January 1st, the gym is going to be busier than it's ever been. There's going to be more people in there than have ever been in there in the history of that previous year. But we also know that 2 weeks later, the same exact people who were there in June, July, August, September, October are the only ones that are going to be there. And this is how gyms make their money. Gyms bank on you making a bad decision. Nutrition companies like these, I'm going to join this program, bank on you making a bad decision. These weight loss challenges bank on you making a bad decision. Weight Watchers is so excited right now, they can't stand it because they know that millions and millions of people are going to make a bad decision, join Weight Watchers for the 27th time, and fail again, just like they have the previous 26 times. And when I say failure, don't yell at me. I'm not saying that some people haven't had success and lost a little bit of weight, but you wouldn't be joining again if you had gotten the outcome that you originally wanted. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't be joining again if you got the outcome that you really desired. You'd have the tools and the resources, and you'd have got yourself to that place where your life was different than it was before you started. And that's the challenging part is when we don't change things, right? When we don't change the main things and the reasons, and change is not simply giving someone a credit card. Change is not simply telling people on Facebook or your family that I'm going to get healthy this year. Those are simply just words that without anything behind them don't have any power at all. And so let's start. Let me give you the first tip of what you want to do. And it's not even the outcome itself that I want you to focus on. It's not the action itself that I want you to focus on. I do not want you to go in your kitchen and throw away all of your junk food. I don't want you to go to the gym and join and pay for a membership for the year. I don't want you to do anything radical. The first step in your success all starts with your vision. Now, I know that sounds weird. Like, what are you talking about vision? It all starts with your vision. It starts with your ability to see the life that you desire. It starts with your ability to visualize the outcome that you really want. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, and I'm just using that as an example. Some of you guys want to make more money. Some of you guys want to have better relationships. Some of you guys want to travel the world, whatever it is. 20 pounds is just a really good metaphor, an analogy, because it's easy to understand. And so if you want to lose 20 pounds, you have got to be able to see yourself 20 pounds down. You've got to be able to tie the vision of that inside of your brain. You've got to be able to understand what that would look like for you. And once you can see that goal clearly, then you're ready to start the process. But if you can't even envision that self, like I have clients that say, I can't see myself blank. I've always been fat. I've always known myself at this size, which is not a true statement. It's just that your brain has blocked out all of that previous time whenever you weren't overweight. But you've got to be able to visually see it. You've got to be able to visually understand what that would look like for you. And I know for some of you guys are like, Jay, but that doesn't make any sense. And I'm not asking it to make sense. I understand that for some of you, it won't make extreme sense. All I need you to do is understand the concept of it. And all I need you to do is focus on that principle and start to envision and visualize yourself 20 pounds down. What would it feel like? What does it look like? What are you going to be able to do differently than you do now? All of those things. But the key is this. You have to get clear about what it is that you want. And then you have to get clear about what you're willing to do to get it. Right? And so if you can attach a vision of yourself 20 pounds down, and then get clarity around why you want that, and then what you're willing to do to get that, right? That's going to take you to the next step. And the next step is attaching a feeling and an emotion to that vision. You see, the vision is not strong enough by itself. We know that New Year's resolutions are weak. They're too weak to be successful. And they're too weak to be successful because they're monosensory for the most part, meaning they're simply just an idea. It's simply just the idea that I would like to be 20 pounds down. It's simply the idea that I would like a better job that provided me more money. It's simply an idea that I want this particular blank in my life. It's just an idea. It's a concept. It's a hypothesis at this stage. And so in order for it to come true, you've got to get a clear vision of it, and then you have to attach an emotion to that clear vision. And what that means is you have to be able to feel what it would be like to be 20 pounds down. So I want you to pause for a second. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you think you want, I want you to start to think about that. Envision yourself in that, and then start to attach an emotion to that. What's the emotion? Because when you attach a feeling to your vision, when you attach an emotion to your vision, it will anchor that goal in your conscious and your subconscious brain. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to build enough power so that it's not lost the first time a challenge arises. You see, here's why New Year's resolutions don't work. Here's why New Year's resolutions fail. Because life is life. Life is full of adversities. Life is full of challenges, big ones, little ones, medium-sized ones, things that aren't really challenges, but we make challenges. And those are going to present themselves. And when they do present themselves, if it's not anchored with a vision and an emotion, the foundation of which you have to build your New Year's solution upon, it will crumble like a house of cards. And by January the 15th, you'll be right back to doing the same thing that you were doing before. And you'll say to yourself, I did it again. I can't believe I did it again. And that's where they lack power, is because there's no foundation. So we're going to build a foundation this year. We're going to have a clear vision. Then we're going to attach an emotion to that. Like, I want you to get emotional about it. I want your voice to go up when you think about it and talk about it. I want you to get goosebumps from head to toe. That's when you know that you're anchoring that goal, that dream, that outcome into your conscious and subconscious brain. And why would you want to anchor that into your subconscious brain? Like, why would you want to anchor that into your brain at all? Because we know this. We know that success in life is 90% psychology and 10% mechanics. Proof is this. If I said to you guys, I gave you all a test, and if you get the 100 on the test, you win $1 million. Tell me two things that you can do to lose weight. Well, I mean, every hand in the room went up. Well, you could work out. God, you got the first one right. The second hand, you could eat healthy. Holy shit, you got it right. 2 for 2. You want $1 million. Now you're a millionaire. That's how simple it is, but that's mechanical. You know the answers. Like, you're not in disillusion about how to do the things in life that you want to do. That's not the problem. The problem is the psychology you have associated with who you are. Right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit in a minute, about your identity. Who you identify as is going to be the person that you show up as. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get a clear vision about what we want. We're going to attach a powerful, positive emotion to that and remind ourselves that the reason that goals fail, the reason that New Year's resolutions fail, is because there's no emotional connection. This is one time in your life I want you to be emotional. I want you to be over-emotional. I want you to attach an emotion to this that is so powerful that it's all you can think about. And then number 3 is when we're going to get to the step that you guys all want to take right off the bat. Except we're going to attach 2 words to this step that are actually going to make it meaningful. See, everybody just wants to start taking action immediately. I'm just going to go. And the next thing you know, you're going and you're lost. You don't even know why you're going. Or you start taking action and there's no results, and then you quit because it's like, well, this must not be working. And so what we're going to do, step number 3, is we are going to have purposeful, powerful actions. Like, so what's the difference there? A purposeful action is an action that has that vision and emotion attached to it. A random action is just going to the gym. I'm gonna get up in the morning and go to the gym. Oh God, I hate it. I hate the gym. I hate getting up in the morning. I hate it so cold outside. Blah blah blah. You see what have I done there? What emotions do I have attached to the going to the gym? Negative, horrible. Do you think I'm going to consistently do that? And then what's going to happen the first day I talk myself into not going? I'm like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Sleeping in is awesome, man. That's pretty cool, right? And then I'm going to sleep in again, and I'm going to sleep in again, and then next thing you know, I haven't been to the gym in 30 days. But if you attach a purposeful action based on the vision and emotion, there's no way you can stay in bed. There's no way you can not get up. And so what you have to do is you have to move towards your goal every single day by clearly defining, listen to me, clearly defining what you will do and what you won't do. Like getting clear on what you will no longer tolerate from yourself, getting clear on what you will no longer tolerate from others is oftentimes stronger than what you will do, right? Often you'll go to the gym. as long as you stop tolerating the excuses that you've allowed yourself to rely on forever. You'll go to the gym until your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other says, oh, just stay in bed, right? You'll no longer tolerate that lack of support. You want your husband, wife, significant other, whoever it is you're sleeping next to, kicking your ass out of the bed as soon as that alarm goes off. Hopefully they're getting up with you. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to understand that little hinges swing big doors. I say this all the time. Little hinges swing big doors. Look at the door in your room right now, wherever you're at. The door is 100 times bigger than the hinges. But it opens that damn thing every single time, doesn't it? So what we don't want to do is we don't want to get radical with our actions. We don't want to get ridiculously grandiose with what we're going to do. I'm going to start going to the gym twice a day. I'm only drinking protein shakes. I'm getting swole this year. No, you're not. Whoa, Chucky, big guy, slow down. Slow down. You're not going to go to the gym twice a day. First of all, you're going to get hurt. Second of all, you're not going to drink protein shakes all day long because you're going to be on the toilet. You're not even going to be able to get out of the house to go to the gym. So let's relax and let's take little swings. Let's make little powerful, positive, purposeful actions that are going to be long-term sustainable. You know what happens when we set these giant radical goals? It gives us an out. It gives us a built-in excuse. Because when you tell somebody, you're going to be like, oh man, I was going to the gym twice a day. I was drinking protein shakes and eating raw kale, and that was it. And then that person you're talking to is going to be like, oh, shit, no wonder that didn't work, bro. And you're going to be like, yeah, it was hard. That was super hard, right? So that's my bro voice. But what happens if we just set really realistic, purposeful, passionate, powerful goals? We'll have a much better chance of making those sustainable and attainable because they're not ridiculous. They're not grandiose. They're not over the top. So don't make it harder than it needs to be. Don't give yourself a built-in out. Number 4, this might be the most important one. You have to believe. I just lost a lot of you right there because you've been thinking about your New Year's resolution. You've been thinking about what you're going to do, and you really don't believe you're going to do it. But that's the biggest piece. You must believe, and then you must start acting as if that goal is already yours. And how are you going to do that? You do that with your thoughts. You do that with your words. You do that with your actions. Everything you do is directed towards you already having the thing that you desire. And what this is going to do is this is going to train your body and brain into believing that you are already that person that you aspire to be. Now, how does that work? We're not going to get super scientific today, but it's all based on your reticular activating system. Your RAS, your reticular activating system, will go to work for you. This supercomputer will start to work for you instead of against you. And it will sort out all of the nonsense, and it will keep you laser focused on the powerful belief that you've already adopted. And so what happens if you don't believe? Your reticular activating system will go to work against you. It doesn't know the difference. Your body and your brain do not know the difference between reality and belief. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. I said I didn't want to go super nerdy, but they do scientific studies. And there's proof that shows that your body and brain do not know the difference in a memory of an event versus the actual event itself. So let's say that you got in a car accident, and it was a substantial car accident where you were mentally, emotionally, and physically impacted. And then you think about that event 6 months later, 2 months later, 1 year later. Your body and your brain will produce the exact same chemical response. All of the chemical messengers, the dopamine, the serotonin, the adrenaline, the everything, your body will produce that on thought. You weren't in the accident again. The accident was 6 months ago. But your body and brain, your reticular activating system, we store trauma, we store events in our body and in our brain. Some of you are thinking, well, that sucks. But I want you to flip the script and think, okay, well, wait a minute. If that's true, I mean, why would Jay make that shit up? So what you're telling me, Jay, is I can store new, powerful, positive information as well. I can create a belief system around this thing that I want, this goal and outcome that I have in mind for myself. And I can get my body to start believing that even before it happens. Yeah, that's the 100% what I'm telling you. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to start thinking it. I'm going to start believing it. I'm going to start writing it. I'm going to start speaking it. I'm going to speak it into existence, right? And that's not strong enough, right? Like, don't think I'm getting all woo-woo on you. Go back to number 3. You got to have purposeful, powerful action. But that purposeful, powerful action will fleet and fail if you don't have that belief associated and attached to it. So, number 4, belief. Number 5 is the anchor. And the anchor is you're going to share this goal, but I want you to pause really quick. You're going to share this goal selectively. What do I mean by that? Don't share your big grandiose goals with everybody. And some of you guys are thinking, well, what do you mean don't share them with everybody? I thought we were supposed to make these declarations and blah, blah, blah. But here's the bad truth and the sad truth, but also the good truth. Most people won't be able to accept your vision. Most people won't be able to acknowledge your goal, support you on your journey, lift you when you fall, raise you when you win, because they are so focused on their own tragedy, trauma, and experience. They're so focused on the story that they're telling themselves about how they can't have success, right? Because they're stuck in the New Year's resolution instead of the new you solution. And so it would be unrealistic to believe that they would be able to pause their tragedy, trauma, and belief systems in order to support you on yours. So find a group of like-minded people. Find humans that you can be, and they're out there. Find humans that have the same desires that you. Doesn't have to be the same thing, right? But they want to win, and they want you to win, and they believe in abundance, and they believe in awesomeness, and they believe that we can be, do, and have all the things that we want. Because here's the last truth. We don't win in isolation. We don't win by ourselves. We don't win doing things on our own. If you think about everything, we win as a team. Even isolatory, like sports figures, like tennis players, golfers, whatever, they have a massive team behind the scenes, right? There's no one that wins that doesn't have a massive team. There's no one who's successful that doesn't have a team below them that's doing some heavy lifting for them. So find that team, find that squad. A lot of those people are going to be right here on the Wellness Lab. If you want some extensive and deeper help, you can join our Thrive Forever Fit program. If you're local to Palm Desert, I'm actually having a live event, a live success summit on January the 8th at the Hotel Paseo. The details have been all over the internet, but we'll post them up here again just in case you guys want to attend. But those are the ways you win. That's how you get to the next level of where it is you want to go. Because being around that type of energy anchors everything that you desire. And that's why you haven't had the success in the past. You haven't had an anchor. You haven't had a strong enough belief system. You've just been taking action, but it hasn't been purposeful and powerful, right? You haven't attached an emotion to what it is that you want, and you can't even see it. You can't even see the thing that it is that you say that you want. But if you wanted it bad enough, wouldn't you be able to visualize it? Wouldn't you be able to actually see that thing? All right, let's take a few questions. And then anybody who's live, if you have a question, drop it in the comments. Marissa will kick it my way and we'll get it answered for you. So Tiffany asked, what are the best questions to ask myself to dig deeper into my journaling practice for the new year? So, I had a conversation about this today with one of my private one-on-one coaching clients, and take it back to the why, right? Take it back to why do you want the things that you want, right? Usually that's where you'll find the emotional attachment is why do you want this? Like, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want this particular thing in your life? And if you'll attach a strong enough why to it, and not just the words of the why, but the emotional connection that you feel with that why, it will actually drive everything else into a deeper level, into your, like I talked about, your subconscious and your conscious brain. And then your body and your mind will begin to go to work for you. Michelle Kirk says, not a question, but I need some advice on gaining tips and strategies to stay motivated and committed to overall health and awesomeness and not allow COVID to overtake my mind. First and foremost, motivation is fleeting, right? So motivation is like putting gas in your car. You're going to consistently need to put gas in your car if you're driving said car, or you'll run out of gas. You're going to continue to need to put motivation into your brain and your body if you're consistently moving forward. It's just one of those things that has to be replenished and has to be fulfilled. The commitment part really comes down to what is it that you want and why do you want that thing? And if the commitment level is usually associated with the level of excuses that you've allowed yourself to build into that scenario. Like when you stop tolerating nonsense from yourself, I said this on a coaching call a few months ago. My life changed drastically about 20 years ago when I stopped tolerating my own bullshit. Right? And that sounds crazy to say, but when I stopped tolerating my own excuses, my own built-in story that I had created that nobody was arguing with, when I stopped tolerating that from myself, my life changed immensely. And so if you're someone who's dedicated to overall health and awesomeness and abundance and all of those things, it's going to require you to stop tolerating your own nonsense. And as far as not allowing COVID to overtake your mind, you've got to make the decision. It goes back to that toleration that you're not going to live in a life of fear. Like you've been programmed. We've all been, there's been an attempt to program you to be afraid of everything. Like you're supposed to be terrified of literally everything in the world. And so first and foremost, the thing that I would do is I would stop watching the news. I would stop allowing that fear into my ecosystem. I haven't watched the news since this entire thing started. I'm kicking ass. I'm doing pretty awesome, right? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anybody. I don't have any preconceived notions that aren't my own. Like I've created my own world around this, and you've got to do the same thing. And if you look at just the pandemics of the past, in 2012 we had an HIV pandemic that was scary as shit if you were alive back then, right? I mean, it was a huge deal, massive. Everybody's scared to damn death. Like there's blood, get the hell out of here. Is that bodily fluid? Get out. There's like grenades everywhere, especially if you worked anywhere around that type of thing. Fast forward to today, it's like, oh, hey, they can. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about HIV. They'll take care of that. They take care of it. AIDS not a big deal anymore, right? I mean, it's a big deal if you got it, but I'm saying it's not life. It's not life ending anymore, right? The flu of 1918, the Asian flu of 1957, 1958, 1969, there was a flu pandemic. The swine flu of 2009. Guys, this is the world we live in, right? It just happens to be hyperinflated now because of things like we're on right now. Social media. You know what I mean? Like in 2009, was there even social media? I don't think there was. I don't believe there was. If there was, maybe it was MySpace. I don't remember. But you didn't know a damn thing about swine flu. You thought pigs had the flu. Like you thought Scarlet the spider. You thought Scarlet's friend Wilbur had the damn flu, and you're like, shit, I hope Wilbur makes it. But if that was today, we'd have been scared to death of everything. We would have stopped eating bacon, even though it didn't have anything to do with swine flu. We would have stopped. I mean, it would have been a chaos because chaos would have been created for you. So understand that you're just in a over glorified everything. And so this is why you're fearful. So take your control back, take your power back, and stop allowing yourself to be told that you're supposed to be afraid. You'll know when you're supposed to be scared. Like it's built into your body. We have a flight or fight system inside of our body that we know when we're supposed to be afraid of things, right? And if you're afraid sitting on your couch, you have to understand that that's programmed. That's not real. Janet says, I self-sabotage. First sentence, I self-sabotage. Going into the new year, I want to commit to no longer tolerating this. What is the best way for me to stop this behavior? First and foremost, Janet, and everybody else listening, as long as you identify as someone who does blank, you will continue to do blank. So you are going to have to change the story that you've created about yourself as someone who self-sabotages. If you say I'm a smoker, you're a smoker. And you'll continue to smoke, even if you've quit for a couple days, weeks, maybe even a month or a year. However you identify is how you will continue to behave. And so first and foremost, your step would be to stop identifying as someone who self-sabotages. Get down to the root of your story of why you're telling yourself this. Like, why are you allowing yourself to have this excuse built into your life? And then what are you afraid of? Why? Most people who self-sabotage are simply just afraid of their own success. They're afraid of the accountability that comes with their own level of success. It's usually that simple. But first, you got to stop identifying as someone who self-sabotages. You've got to understand and get to clarity around, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you identifying as this? What's the story that you've associated with this? And then you've got to start to tell yourself a story, a new story that is no longer has this negativity and weakness associated with it. Janet, I know you. You're a strong, powerful woman who can make any damn decision that she wants to make. But for some reason, you allow yourself to succumb to the self-sabotaging makeup because you're getting, and this is what people hate to hear, you're getting something out of it. Like, we don't do things in life that we don't get something out of. You're getting something out of it. You're getting some form of either acceptance, some form of attention, some form of something from this. If you think about it, that's the way every human is. Like, we do very little things unless we're getting we're getting something from it. I was going to say the word benefit, but a lot of us have now started to associate things, and we'll take a negative attention over no attention at all. And so you've just got to identify, like, what are you getting from this? And then what would it be like? Go back to the very first thing I said. Get a vision, attach a positive, powerful emotion to it, start to take purposeful action, believe that you can actually get what it is you say you want, start to speak, talk, act, and identify as that, and then use the group that you're a part of, the Thrive Forever Fit program, to anchor that in. Sylvia says, once the newness of the new year excitement wears off, how can you stay motivated and on track into February and beyond? So I'll go back to that first thing I said about motivation. Motivation is like gas in your gas tank. It has to consistently be applied. The second thing I would say is that if you've lost motivation by mid-January or February, then your goal was not strong enough to begin with. And it's because you've gone with that old formula of New Year's resolution. I'm just going to start going to the gym. I'm just going to start eating healthy, but I'm not going to have any plan, vision, emotion, belief system, anchoring support, or anything like that associated with it. And then when challenges arise, you're going to succumb to those excuses that you've already built in and you've already allowed yourself to have. And so I would get really clear. So let's just go back and recap really quick. Get uber clear on what it is that you want and why you want it. And then vision and visualize what it is that you want. Attach that positive, powerful emotion to that visualization, and then only take positive, powerful action steps to get that. Remember, not grandiose, not radical, little hinges swing big doors. Believe that it's possible. Believe that you can. Believe that you will. Believe that you already have this within you. And start to speak, talk, act, write, and identify as that person. And lastly, find yourself a group that will support you on this mission, and not just support you with high fives and hugs. A group that will hold you accountable. A group that will give you that tough love when you need it, because that's the only way goals are really achieved, right? In that team framework, whenever you're down, you get picked up and you get re-energized based on the group's energy. And that's the only way you're going to get where it is you want to go, by following those 5 steps this year. So I think we got a couple questions. Marissa just dropped down in the comments section for me. Let me get a little swig. Here we go. Liz says, I just want to thank you and Marissa for the support and encouragement since we started the intermittent fasting in July. I'm down 36 pounds. Outstanding, Liz. That is phenomenal. Give yourself a high five and a big clap for that. Setting my first goal to get down to 40 pounds by January. I have zero doubts that you're going to be able to accomplish that by January 11th. No doubt in my mind you're going to knock that out. Please let me know when you've hit that goal so we can celebrate you. And then 6 months, that's the 6-month mark. Then I'll make another goal. I love the protein greens and BCAAs. Thank you again. Thank you, Liz, for allowing me the opportunity to support you and the opportunity to give you a tool and a resource that has obviously worked for you. What Liz is referring to is we did a intermittent fasting course in July of this year. Basically taught people how to properly intermittent fast and create it as a lifestyle that will work for you. Liz was part of that program. She's down 36 pounds since then. She'll be down 40 pounds by January 11th. It's the 6-month mark, which is, I mean, out of sight, outstanding. And that's how you do it, Liz. Like, that's what you do. You become part of a group that is going to support you, hold you accountable. And you've had unbelievable success, done a lot of great work, and I'm proud of you. And that's fantastic. It's phenomenal. Any other questions, Marissa? I think Marissa's reading a question, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, she's going to drop something in the comments for me, but hang tight for 1 second. Again, I'll just reiterate, if you guys are struggling, you feel like you need more support, you'd like to have access to me on a daily basis, you can join our Thrive Forever Fit program. Just send Marissa a note. She'll send you. It's very low barrier to entry, very low cost. And then we're also, if you're local to Palm Desert or in the Southern California area, on January the 8th, we are having a live event at the Hotel Paseo. It's going to be an amazing day of awesome energy, and I'd love for you to be a part of that as well. This might be a question, but in response to self-sabotaging, I need to dig deeper to find out what I'm getting from self-sabotaging. That way I can figure out whatever it is in a different way. So Sylvia, I know why you self-sabotage. I know why you do what you do. So if you'd like me to let you in on that secret, I can share that with you, and it can help you move towards. Sylvia is one of my private coaching clients, been with me forever. So I know Sylvia like the back of my hand. And so am I talking about the right Sylvia here? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Sylvia, I got you. I know why you self-sabotage, and I know why you do what you do. So I will, I'll give you that information. So Sylvia, like I said, is part of our Thrive Forever Fit program and part of our, my private coaching clients. And so it's easy for me to say, like, some of you guys are thinking, well, how the hell do you know what I know Sylvia very well. So don't think I'm just throwing some random jazz out, but yeah, I can help you with that, Sylvia. Not a problem. Marissa's typing, guys. This may be the last question. If it is, I will, she's not typing. We don't have a question. No question. All right, guys. Hey, you are awesome. I appreciate you watching on replay. I appreciate you tuning in live. I know it's, spending 40 minutes with me on a Thursday, December the 30th, is not the most glamorous or exciting thing on the planet, but I just want to let you know that I am appreciative of you. I want to be a resource for you. I want to see you win in 2022. Whatever that is for you, I want to see you get everything out of life that you deserve and desire. Use this page as your resource. Please ask as many questions as you would like to ask. Please participate in all the things that we try to offer for you guys. And if you do need and or want that daily support from me, Marissa, and my team, we'd love to have you over in the Thrive Forever Fit program. It's a gorgeous group of beautiful people. And we've made the barrier to entry so low and so easy that it's for everybody. So appreciate you guys. Love you. I am wishing you an abundant and amazing 2022. And we're going to have an awesome year. I promise. I'm going to be here for you the whole time, and we're going to do it together. All right. We'll see you soon, guys. Love you.